there, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Corson. I'm your host. I'm also the publisher and editor of Commercial Construction and Renovation magazine. Thanks for finding us on the web. Hey, it's Friday. Got my colors on. It's game day tomorrow. University of Denver lacrosse 2-0, ranked number 11 in the country, playing those darn Blue Devils tomorrow. And I think they're ranked number 12. I know they're really even. We're both actually they're 2-1. We're undefeated 2-0, but it's a big rivalry. So go boys, let's get it done. Stay 3-0 and take the W. So got my colors on and can't wait. As usual, my wife's going to be like, can't hear you on the screen. I know. So at tomorrow I'm going to be watching the game. So with that said, look, this is a special quick little Commercial Construction Coffee Talk episode. It's a PSA announcement. Last night I had one of my previous podcasts guests come on. His name is Peter Cola, if some of you remember. He's an author and he's into wellness, and we had an awesome discussion. And he mentioned, hey David, do you know about the employee retention tax incentive credit gig that's going on with the government? And I said, yeah, actually my CPA took care of me last year and I took advantage of it. And anyway, he goes, well, they've made some revisions to the program. And I bet you have a lot of your listeners out there that are in small business and so forth. Maybe they're not aware of it, and you should let them know about it. So that's what this episode is all about. So I'm sitting here with Mr. Ken Poblano. He's with Tax Incentives out of San Antonio, Texas. And Ken, say hello to our listeners out there.
How's everybody doing today?
Hey, we're doing, like I said, I'm psyched. It's lacrosse season.
You got it.
Anyway, basically, it's kind of similar to PPP if you took advantage of it. I know I did. But, when I did EIDL, and then there was this other program, and my CPA just did it for me, and I didn't even know it. And until I spoke with him, he said, oh, yeah, you already did it, but there's been some revisions. And it's very, very positive for business people out there, or small businesses, whether you have 2 people or up to 500. And Ken is a specialist. So I'm going to let Ken give you kind of a rundown. And then at the end of the video, I'll have a link. If you're interested in taking advantage of the program, hit the link, submit your information. It'll take you to a landing page, about the program, and you can find out about it. But like I always say on these podcasts, if you don't buy a ticket for the lottery, you can't win. Investigate this, fill out the paperwork, and you might be able to put some government dollars that are earmarked for small businesses. So Ken, give them kind of just a little rundown, on the employee retention tax credit.
Sure. Okay. So the employee retention tax credit came out in the CARES Act of 2020. So that CARES Act is where, like David was saying, had the PPP loan, the EIDL was in that same package. Back when it first was released, if a business took a PPP loan, they couldn't take advantage of the ERTC program. It wasn't allowed. Everybody went with the PPP loan because it was a lot easier. It was faster. It was through the SBA. You didn't have to get taxes and everything together. The underwriting was, like I said, faster, and it was a lump sum up front, whereas the ERTC at that point was being deposited into payroll accounts. So the guidelines that were out at that time were pretty strict. You had to lose 50% of your revenue in 2020 versus 2019, 20% of your revenue in either, the first 3 quarters of 2021 versus 2019 quarters. So it was very restrictive, and that's why everybody gravitated to the PPP loan. Well, fast forward to 2021, Congress made a lot of revisions within those timeframes, about a 12 to 16 month time frame. There was revisions that were made that were very positive. So some of the revisions that were made, Congress passed in 2021. So there was mandates that were put in place that you didn't have to have the drop in your revenue. Your revenue grosses didn't need to drop. And the mandates consist of partial shutdowns, full shutdowns. They could be supply lines if you're waiting for manufacturers to get things manufactured and shipped to you, limited seating, limited capacity, limited scheduling, for doctors and everybody else. Their schedules expanded. They couldn't they couldn't handle the same amount of customers because of all the cleaning in between. So they were hindered, any kind of hindrance. And we kind of calculated out to be kind of a 10% hindrance. So we really talked to the customers and help them understand. So that was one of the first revisions that was very positive. The second one, meaning that if you had certain amounts of employees. So in 2020, you can't have over 100 employees, but in 2021, it was extended to 500 employees. So even larger companies at that time could take advantage of the program. So with these mandates that were put in place, it really opened up this program wide to just about every kind of business. And it's been gangbusters ever since. The program actually terminated a quarter early. Congress and Senate voted to terminate it a quarter early, so it ended Q3 of 2021. But there's a length of time that a business owner could apply, but there's also a certain amount of money. And so it's kind of like a fear of missing out. You better get in now while they're getting this good, because there's no way really for the IRS to find out where that money factor is, because the IRS is so far behind right now in taxes. Even with this program, once you apply and we get your file to the IRS, it's a 6-month wait right now. And that wait's going to continue to get longer as they get through tax season. So
Yeah,
now's the time to do it.
The PPP was an SBA program. This program, ERTC, is actually with the IRS.
Yes.
They have the money. They
Yes.
just need to get your paperwork, see if you
Right.
qualify. You have to get yourself in the queue. And apparently there's $78 billion that are still left in this fund, give or take, a couple
Correct.
$100 million, whatever. It's got a lot. Listen, $1 billion is a lot of money. It's $78 billion. Every day it goes down a little. So,
Right.
but the money's there. And
Right.
if you're a small business guy, if it's a payroll thing. You do your payroll taxes anyway. So,
Right.
like I said, Peter reached out to me and I just said, my CPA has already done it because I do my quarterly taxes and payroll and all that, I do all that stuff. But I thought this was very, very important because like Ken said, timing is of the essence, because every day that goes by, more people realize it. But before it was just too cumbersome. And a lot of people are like, it's government. I don't want to do all the paperwork and so forth. But here they've made it a little easier. And I just wanted to throw this out to you because, listen, everybody got hurt over the last couple of years, restaurants, contractors, franchisees, car dealers, you name it. Everybody took a hit. And so, it's nice to know that, the government, has earmarked this, but just like your own budgets, if you don't spend the money, you're not going to get it in the following year. And, Congress probably won't do this again, so if the money's here and you take a couple of minutes, hit the link, go to the landing page that Ken have for you, and then investigate it. I always research everything, and I'm not a skeptic, but listen, I've done ERTC. I got the tax here. I got the money. All right. But I did it in the cumbersome way.
Early phases. Yeah.
Yeah. In the early phases. It's just that my CPA was on top of it. So moving forward now in 2022, listen, it's here for you. Take a couple of minutes, investigate it, have a conversation, with one of his associates. And if you could get in there and put a little extra cash, that's by law as a U.S. taxpayer, as a tax person, a citizen, you're entitled to.
Absolutely, 100%, David. And the one thing also, just to mention really quick here, there's no upfront cost for this, people. Send us your documentation, get in touch with one of our project managers. We'll take in your information, we'll run the summary analysis for your business, and we'll come back to you and let you know what you qualify for. If you don't qualify for anything, no harm, no foul, you move on along. If you qualify for something, then we'll move forward from there. But there's nothing that we're asking for from you except for the documentation that we need in order to tell you exactly what you qualify for.
Listen, I went online after Peter told me, and I Googled it, and listen, there's tons of people that are out there. Just like when PP happened, I would get a guy, let me help you with your PP loan. Let me help you. Listen, this person does business with Mr. Cola. Mr. Cola knows a lot of people. All right. And I like I said, he was a guest on my podcast. We become friends. And I'm just telling you that here's a person that's legit. talk, hit the link. You got nothing to lose, and take advantage of it, because a couple months down the road, you might have a conversation. Oh, did you take care of that ERTC thing? Oh God, I got X amount of dollars back. It took a little while for it to get there because just the way that the process works. But this is how it works. Man, where did you find that about? Oh, I don't know. I watched Corson's video on on the website, wherever you might have found it. But the bottom line is, I'm trying to tell you all out there that are watching, this is available for you. Timing is of the essence. It's not going to be there forever. And you should just take advantage of it. And, and listen, he's an expert. He does it every day. And he'll tell you, you either qualify or you don't. So are there anything else before we finish up here?
No, not really. I mean, it's that simple on our end of it. For most businesses, if you've gotten PPP loans in the past, you already have most of the material handy. We're not looking for personal or business taxes. That's not part of it. It's very simple. 3 forms, 941 documents, quarterly payroll reports, and quarterly gross receipts. That's really about it. Takes us a couple of days to run the analysis. Depends on how many employees they have. But again, it's a check to see what you got, because you never know. You never know what's going to, what kind of windfall that you're going to have off of this. And this money, unlike the PPP loan, it's not earmarked for anything specific you have to do in your business. It's not to pay wages. It's not for business services or marketing. This really is a pass through. The claim itself is non-taxable. And the biggest benefit is the owner can choose to do whatever they want. If they want to pay it all to themselves for a wage, they can. If they want to put it in their business, they can. And so it's the most amazing program that we've ever seen. And we've, done a lot of programs, empowerment zone credits and R&D tax credits and so forth. This is the best deal out there.
So, commercial construction coffee talk audience out there, this is my PSA to you. I've done it. I've gotten my credit. I got the money, but I did it in the beginning, and now it's much easier to apply. There's a chunk of money that's sitting there with the IRS, and by law, if you qualify for it, they'll get it to you. They are backed up. It's just the reality of it. But if you do your paperwork, you're in the queue, and you get approved, down the road, you will receive that money, depending on what your statements and payroll or whatever, because everybody's going to be different, just like I was. I mean, you might make 100 times more than I, because my company's set up differently than yours is. But my CPA went through the exercise, and he said, hey, dude, you're getting this. So I just kind of completely forgot about it until Peter called me about it. I was like, oh yeah, I did that thing. And then I called my CPA this morning, and he said, oh yeah, there's been revisions. And I said, oh yeah, well, we were going over this. And I'm like, I got to tell my people about this, and maybe you forgot about it. So take it as a friendly reminder from Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. Do it. You got nothing to lose. And, I hope you take, the message and listen. If not, that's okay too. So with that said, Ken, thanks for, the quick tutorial, and enjoy the weekend down in San Antonio. All you out there in Commercial Construction Coffee Talk land, enjoy the rest of this Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Go Pios, beat Duke, and have a great weekend. And we will see you next time on another episode of Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. Ken, I look forward to seeing you in person someday.
Thanks, David. Thanks, David.
And I want to see all you guys out in person too. We'll shake hands and no fist pumps. All right. Talk to you all later. Have a great day. See ya.